it looks like there's more BS coming out of the James Gunn DCU camp. And if you remember, at the time that Black Adam dropped, we got that now famous video or infamous video from Henry Cavill saying, I've been told, I'm going to be back as Superman. Couldn't be more excited, excited for himself, excited for the fans. Went to see Black Adam. At the end of the film, you see Henry Cavill show up in the post-credit scene. People are standing up and cheering. Great news, only to find out later on that, sorry, doesn't look like it's going to happen. James Gunn has other plans, and it was basically all bullshit, not from Cavill, but from James Gunn and Peter Safran. Then, yesterday, and I put this I've been putting this in videos for about a week now. We've been talking about the return of Wonder Woman, of Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman. And I got this, and it's been all over the internet. You've seen it. Gal Gadot says says James Gunn and Peter Safran told her in a meeting that, quote, "You're in the best hands. We're going to develop Wonder Woman 3 with you. We love you as Wonder Woman. You've got nothing to worry about." And so there were sources all over for that, but that's a quote directly from Gal Gadot. Now we find out something else entirely as of today, and we're going to get to that right now. Hey, guess what? It's all BS. Wonder Woman 3 won't fly in the new DC universe despite Gal Gadot teasing development plans. Exclusive. This just dropped. Excuse me, I have a bit of a cold. So this dropped about 4 hours ago. Wonder Woman 3. Here we go. Is the third Wonder Woman movie on... Good, and by the way, good Lord, she is spectacularly hot. Is the third Wonder Woman movie on the way from Warner Brothers and DC Studios? Not quite, despite recent comments from Gal Gadot. And I have no reason to think that Gal Gadot is just going to try to insert herself into the DCU. I believe that she was told this. Claiming DC heads James Gunn and Peter Safran told her they would develop Wonder Woman 3 together. Sources with knowledge of the situation tell Variety that is not the case. According to the sources, a third Wonder Woman film is not in development at DC Studios, nor do Gunn and Safran have plans at this time for any Wonder Woman project in the new DC universe other than their previously announced Paradise Lost prequel series for Max. Okay. Gadot first suggested that Wonder Woman 3 might not be fully dead in an interview with comicbook.com. "I love portraying Wonder Woman," she said. "It's so close and dear to my heart. From what I heard from James and from Peter is that we're going to develop a Wonder Woman 3 together." The actor made a potential future for Wonder Woman 3 appear even more likely during a recently published profile by Flaunt Magazine, and that was the source of the tweet that I just showed you, or the post that I just showed you, because now it's called X, not Twitter. In this interview, Gadot said she was assured by Gunn and Safran that Wonder Woman 3 would be developed. "I was invited to a meeting with James Gunn and Peter Safran," Gadot said, "and what they told me, and I'm quoting, 'You're in the best hands. We're going to develop Wonder Woman 3 with you. We love you as Wonder Woman. You've got nothing to worry about. So time will tell." All of about a day. The sources added to Variety that nothing was ever promised to Gadot regarding Wonder Woman 3, nor is there any definitive discussion of Gadot's Wonder Woman continuing with the new DC universe. Gunn and Safran gave a presentation at the start of the year, and that was, the snooze fest, unveiling the first titles in their new DC universe, including Superman Legacy, and they continue to be laser focused on these new films. Variety has reached out to Gadot's representative for further comment. Gadot originated the role of Wonder Woman in Zack Snyder's DC universe, and I'm going to get to that in a second, debuting in Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice before leading her own 2 standalone films, Wonder Woman and Wonder Woman 1984. Gadot's Wonder Woman also appeared in Justice League and had cameos in DC films such as Shazam: Fury of the Gods. Her 2 standalone Wonder Woman films were directed by Patty Jenkins. The 2 were developing Wonder Woman 3 together before Gunn and Safran were named the new heads of DC Studios. Last December, news broke that Wonder Woman 3 had fallen apart after Warner Brothers leadership passed on Jenkins' treatment for the sequel. Jenkins publicly exited the project. The news hit shortly after Gunn and Safran took the reins of DC Studios and announced they would be overhauling the DC universe, which led to speculation that Jenkins had rebuffed efforts to reshape Wonder Woman 3 to fit into their DC universe. I never walked away, Jenkins shared in a post on Twitter. I was open to considering anything asked of me. It was my understanding there was nothing I could do to move anything forward at this time. DC is obviously buried in changes they are having to make, so I understand these decisions are difficult right now. Roughly an hour after Jenkins posted her statement, Gunn supported her on Twitter, replying, I can attest that all of Peter and my interactions with you were only pleasant and professional. Back in January, when Gunn and Safran met with press to unveil the first chapter of their new DC universe dubbed Gods and Monsters, they announced the Wonder Woman-related project that's currently in development, that's Paradise Lost, a prequel series for Max. The show, which Safran described as a Game of Thrones-ish type story, is set on the island of Themyscira before the birth of Wonder Woman. Now, I just talked yesterday about the Zack Snyder plan in Justice League 2 to have Granny Goodness and the female Furies descend and attack Themyscira. To me, that sounds a hell of a lot better with the Dark Side War than some Game of Thrones bullshit. And so that's what I want. The idea that she's not going to be part of the DCU is fine for me, because that leaves the SnyderVerse intact. And that cast remains whole now and can just be brought back because I have no intention of spending a red cent watching James Gunn's bullshit. It's really about political intrigue behind a society of all women, Safran added about the project. Jesus Christ. Gadot's recent comments on Wonder Woman 3 were made before the SAG-AFTRA strike during her promotional tour for the Netflix spy thriller Heart of Stone, streaming August 11th. So there you go. In with the old, out with the old. I'm perfectly okay with all of this. Hold on a second. We got some comments here. Hey, we got Eric. You've got nothing to worry about. That's never a good thing to hear when things get reshuffled. Yeah, exactly. You got nothing to worry about. Don't just go home and get some sleep. Mr. Dan saying, hey, what's happening, Dan? Patrick, what's happening? James Gunn strikes again. People who trust James Gunn to save DCEU are fools. Well, the DCEU is Zack Snyder's. His is just the DCU. So, yeah. I don't want him touching anything, actually, because I firmly believe that James Gunn is making the DCU for himself. He's not making it for fans or for anything like that. James Gunn knows what's best for you. And, you know, I want to see the Dark Side War. I want to see Justice League 2, where the Furies descend on Themyscira. Yeah, that's what I want to see. This is just bullshit. And I feel bad because it sounds like this is true. I mean, you know, obviously I wasn't there, but I feel bad for Gadot because this happened to Henry Cavill. This was the same thing that happened to Henry Cavill. And he made that famous Instagram video and he was so happy, and then he just got screwed over. Glad I never got invested in the DC universe. Man, check out Man of Steel, BVS Ultimate Edition, Zack Snyder's Justice League, the first Wonder Woman movie. They're worthwhile. Aquaman's not bad either. Aquaman's not a bad movie either. We got Castellar Daniel Garcia says Gal Gadot acts the same in every film. Her lack of acting talent is apparent. She's no great thespian, but I'll say this, for the role of Wonder Woman, she's perfect as a sort of muted, gorgeous Amazon. She's a muted, you know, a warrior, a few words. She does have empathy, and I thought that came across really well in Justice League, the way she connected with Cyborg. Yeah, she's not Meryl Streep, but she doesn't need to be for this. I think she is perfect for this role. She reminds me of like a young Keanu Reeves. You know, he was just, and then slowly over time, he began to just be fitted for roles that work towards his strengths. But if you remember 30 years ago, he got cast in Bram Stoker's Dracula, and he was just awful. I mean, the movie itself is awful, but he was especially awful. They should have given it to Snyder. He understands the character so much more. I firmly believe that because of this strike, one of two things are going to happen. One, either Gunn is going to get a movie off and it's going to tank, or two, because we've already seen that he's sort of disavowed and distanced himself from Blue Beetle. which is a kid's movie. The Blue Beetle is a kid's movie. But I think either that's going to happen or he's just never going to get a movie because Warner Brothers is billions of dollars in the hole, like double-digit billions of dollars in the hole. I firmly believe that Warner Brothers has a backup plan. I firmly believe that they're keeping an eye on this and that with the videos that I released before, you could see the media shift and that they're talking about, what the Batfleck movie was going to be, the Flash trilogy, the Justice League, that the Legion of Doom was going to prepare the way for Darkseid, that the Riddler was going to solve the anti-life equation, that after 10 years, it was going to end with the Flashpoint paradox so that you could completely reset and recast all of these characters. Zack Snyder had a plan, and they should have just let him cook. And I firmly believe that within 5 years, and I've been saying this for a while now, he will be back to finish this with his original cast because it's what people want. If you're one of those people that's just going to argue about, Batman's not wearing the gray uniform, then there's nothing that anybody can do to make you happy, in which case, why should we listen to you in the first place? Let's make the movie that, reasonable people want to see and a lot of them want to see, and let us give you our money because I'm not going to spend a red cent on this James Gunn bullshit. James Gunn is completely out of touch. Yeah, James Gunn makes movies for James Gunn. Dropped Cavill right after saying he was back and added him to Black Adam. Such a waste. Yep, and when I was there at the end of Black Adam, when he showed up in the post-credit scene, people stood up and cheered. They were so happy to see Henry Cavill. We were happy to see Henry Cavill, and nope, sorry. I know what's best for you. My name is James Gunn. I'll probably get to them eventually. If you have Max, they're all available there now. Blue Beetle needs Warner's full support. I want the cinema houses to be packed. I want the cinema houses to make a lot of money. I don't want the film industry in our country to collapse. Lord knows it's got its problems. You've got these studio heads that are making hundreds of millions of dollars and producing crap. You've got a lot of overpaid actors. There's a lot of things that need to change. But that doesn't mean I want the film industry or our country to collapse. Movies like this, I don't have an investment in it one way or the other. That doesn't mean I want it to do badly. I hope that it does well. It's unfortunate with the strike that, they can't get decent promotion from the actors out there right now for it. It's a shame. But I hope it does well. Actors definitely noticed how Gunn had destroyed Black Adam, Shazam, Aquaman. Yeah, he's a douche. Blue Beetle looks like Shazam with a Latino family, only more kid-oriented. I'll wait to watch it on streaming. Yeah, same here. But like I said, a couple of weeks ago, I went to see Oppenheimer, and this was the Barbieheimer weekend. So I went to see it on a Friday, and I think I saw it at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I came outside the theater, outside my, auditorium at 6 o'clock approximately, and the theater was fucking mobbed, and I was very happy. I was like, thank God, we need, our institutions, our American institutions to thrive. And I couldn't have been more happy. And now Barbie, is off to like $1 billion, and Oppenheimer is like at $600 million. This Insidious movie is doing very well. The Last Voyage of the Demeter drops Friday. I hope that makes a lot of money. I want these movies to make money because the projects that are in production right now are all halted. So, they need as much money as they can get. All right, that's my video pretty much. Let me know what you think. Like the video. Leave a comment. One-word comment is fine. Subscribe to the channel. There's going to be a lot more. I'm going to be exclusively covering SnyderVerse and, all the things that relate to the restoration of his story because I want him to be able to complete it. I'll be back here at 8 o'clock with a huge crowd getting ready for tomorrow's drop of The Last Voyage of the Demeter with our top 5 favorite vampire films. It's going to be a shit ton of fun. I can't wait for it. I'm going to go have some dinner right now and then get ready for the show. We'll be back at 8 o'clock. And thanks so much. We'll see you in the next video, or in this case, a little less than an hour. Have a good one, everybody. Peace.